William Ruto needs more protection. This is a statement that has been said by one of President William Ruto's close friend. Recently William Ruto has had conversations that are hurting the Western countries most. In some of the conversations and speeches William Ruto made is that he wants African countries to ditch the US dollar. The president also wants Africans to unite, and be one nation. These speeches have made the life of William Ruto to be in a great danger. The reason why I'm saying this is because removing the US dollar from its position would lead to the United States relinquishing its status as a world superpower. In a statement made by Donald Trump, the former president is saying that the US is losing its superiority.
Have placed the US in a very bad and dangerous position. They are dividing up the world as we sit around and let them do it. They no longer respect the United States, but they will. Go out and vote. 2024, we have to win back the White House. Thank you very much.
The truth is that without the dollar USA will step down from its throne of world's superpower. And the big question in this video is, how long will the United States entertain William Ruto's plan to make Africa great? Lessons from past African statesmen shows that whoever walked this path found themselves at loggerheads with the global powers. The greatest of them all, Ghana's Nkrumah, the father of Pan-Africanism, died a deposed president at 62 in Guinea after 3 failed assassinations and a military coup in his motherland. President William Ruto is being likened to influential figures such as Kwame Nkrumah, Nelson Mandela, Julius Nyerere, and Robert Mugabe, as he envisions a future Africa where both political and economic independence are intertwined. And mostly the president is likened to Gaddafi. The president has even been given the name, New Gaddafi of Africa. Speaking of Gaddafi, who is being likened with William Ruto, Gaddafi is one of the greatest out of Africa. He has no fear. He didn't fear anyone. The West couldn't buy him. They couldn't control him. NATO had to kill him and bombed his country by spreading democracy to Libya. Since then the country's economy has reduced severely. I remembered when a friend used to tell me how life is so easy in Libya, with job opportunities and benefits. The only thing she complained about the country was the house rent, which was a bit too high. Let's leave that aside. Right now you might be asking yourselves, what has William Ruto done this time? Why are they threatening him? It's not a long story, please let me explain. Welcome back to Teens Republic, the life-to-life educative channel. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel. We promise you will have the best videos for you to watch and learn. One area where President Ruto is challenging Western dominance in Africa is the privileged position of the US dollar. With Africa being rich in resources such as gold, arable land, chromium, platinum, diamonds, cobalt, and uranium, it holds immense appeal to these global powers, who are willing to offer significant resources to gain access to these assets. President Ruto has been making bold statements, addressing both Africa and the West. His words have sparked a renewed aspiration among Africans to liberate themselves from the dominance of the US dollar. By highlighting this issue, he aims to bring attention to Africa's desire for economic autonomy and independence. Removing the US dollar from its position would lead to the United States relinquishing its status as a world superpower. However, the crucial question is how receptive the United States would be to such a notion. Historical evidence reveals that those who have pursued a similar path have often clashed with global powers. Significant obstacles were overcome by prominent African leaders who started down this route, notably Ghana's Nkrumah, the father of Pan-Africanism. In the wake of 3 abortive murder attempts and a military takeover in his native nation, Nkrumah was deposed as president and ultimately passed away in exile in Guinea at the age of 62. However, after his passing, his people and the African continent recognized and respected his contributions. It's unclear how far President Ruto can take things in this manner. Dr. Ruto has demonstrated a leaning toward the West in terms of foreign economic interests and policy during his first months in office. It is important to think about if these first actions might impair his vision. If he is sincere about completing this objective, he probably will run into dislodging the US dollar from its privileged position in the global financial market is a challenging endeavor. As the primary reserve currency, the dollar has granted the United States an exorbitant privilege in the global economic landscape, elevating it above other nations. Challenging the economic dominance of the United States carries significant consequences, as it strikes at the heart of the world superpower. History provides examples of African leaders who attempted to confront the influence of the US dollar and faced severe repercussions. Muammar Gaddafi of Libya advocated for an African bank to counter the dominance of the US dollar. But he met a tragic end at the hands of NATO in 2011. Similar cases demonstrate that conflicting with Western interests comes at a cost, often resulting in leaders being labeled as terrorists, tyrants, or dictators. Even acclaimed South African leader Nelson Mandela remained on the US terrorist watch list until 2008. Zimbabwe's Robert Mugabe also passed away in power after being subjected to international sanctions that decimated his nation's economy. Is President William Samoei Ruto being serious in light of this? These Africans had a strong sense of mission and commitment. Is he prepared to enrage the US and the West? Can that occur while he is still resting his head on their chest? The aim is set, but the way is littered with the bones of trailblazing pioneers. I don't know what you think about this video. Give us your thoughts on the comment section below.